Strategically place tiles in a puzzle-like sequence to score points to victory in Sum8. Thank you for joining me here at Turnup Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Sum8 is a puzzly tile-laying game for 1 to 2 players. Plays in about 20 to 30 minutes, and it's being published by Turnup Games. They are sponsoring this overview video, and they sent us this prototype copy to look at. It's coming to Kickstarter. At the beginning of the game, you'll set up the game discs in a pattern of your choosing. A harder game uses 9 discs all the way up to 16 discs for an easier game. For your first game, I'd recommend a 4x4 grid as shown in the rules. As you play more games, you'll be able to try out different configurations. Each player picks 8 tiles and keeps them secret to themselves. The game is played in turns. Players lay a tile or move a tile to score points. Once all the tiles have been played that can be played, the game is over. When it's your turn, you either try to match the pips, which score you 1 point, or you try to add up to 8, which scores you 2 points. You immediately replace your tile, so you always have 8. You can score multiple connections at once depending on where you place your tile. Another way of scoring points is to create a big 8, which is basically 2 circles next to each other. That scores you 4 points. If placed strategically, you could even score multiple big 8s at one time. On your turn, instead of playing a tile from your hand, you could move a tile to another spot on the board. You just have to make sure you don't leave any tiles hanging without connections. Once all tiles have been played, or both players cannot play any more, then the game's over. You subtract points based on the number of pips you still have from the tiles in your hand. Whoever has the most points wins. This game has a domino-like feel to it as you're trying to match up the ends together. But there's some twists in the game. You can add up the values to 8, which will score you more points than just matching the pips together. Then you can even connect them in various ways to each other on the game board. Also, the shape of the tiles presents unique challenges. Sometimes you might want a certain value to connect, but it's on the bigger end of your tile instead of the smaller end, so you have to try a different combination. Now, moving tiles can be extremely strategic to make sure your opponent doesn't score a ton of points on you. In most of my games, putting that third tile in a circle was risky because then your opponent can close off the circle, which isn't the end of the world, but if it makes a big 8 formation, then they score a lot of points. You can try different setups for the game board, which will create its own level of difficulty. The more space you have, the easier it's going to play your tiles, and the opposite is true with a smaller game board. It creates a tighter gameplay. Now the game plays pretty fast since there's only 36 tiles in the game, 20 to 30 minutes. And if you've played dominoes, you're going to pick this game right up. And if it sounds like something you'll enjoy, then check out Sum8 from Turnup Games on Kickstarter.